It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies. We are smack dab in the middle of the Calgary International Film Festival. I think it's day 7?
Sweet.
Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim.
Hey.
And Murray.
Yo.
So, with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on!
Bangers! All right, well, we got a couple things to talk about first because today happens to be September 30th. And for those of you who don't know what September 30th it is, other than the day before October 1st, it happens to be Orange Shirt Day. So I am wearing my orange shirt today. For those of you who say, what is Orange Shirt Day? It is an event created in 2013 designed to educate people and promote awareness in Canada. So you friends of ours in the US that are listening, please take note. This is an important day in Canada because in Canada, 2013, that's like a long time ago now. Anyway, this event was created to bring awareness to the Indian residential school system and the impact that it has had on Indigenous communities for over a century, an impact recognized as a cultural genocide and an impact that continues today. It is held annually on September 30th in Canadian communities, especially in schools where people are encouraged to wear an orange shirt. So for those of you who are not wearing an orange shirt, go find one and probably wear it and talk about it with people because it's a good topic to talk about. So that's one thing. The other thing is it is the day before All the Horror podcast event, which starts tomorrow. So everybody, please get on your podcasting streaming stuff, places, apps, websites, whatever, and check out All the Horror 18 on Instagram and Twitter. Check out scaresthatcare.org and be ready to be horrified for the entire month of October because it's going to be fabulous.
Sounds excellent.
It's awesome. All right. Well, what did we see at CIFF? CIFFcalgary.ca.
Well, first thing that we woke up yesterday morning, and man, were we in for a treat. We saw Last and First Men. This is a film that transports us into the distant future where infancy lasts a century. And then after that, we spend 1,000 years on the polar continent known as the Land of the Young. After that 1,000 years, we emerge ready for a world of maturity where we achieve simultaneous mental unity. Together, we are able to enter past minds. Some of us become navigators who are a simple and modest folk. They are able to go into a trance and solve ancient mysteries. There are tasks to accomplish, which include sowing the seeds of a new humanity among the stars. But we need help from the past. 2 billion years in the future, solar radiation has a disastrous effect on the human organism. Telepathic communication has become unreliable, and we have to use vocal symbolism. We have had to force the planet outward to avoid the heat. We have had to migrate to the poles. The oceans have evaporated. But this is not humanity's last word. However, humanity is but a flash in the lifetime of the cosmos. Great are the stars, and humankind is no account to them. This is a film that is as haunting as it is fascinating. The narration... What are you laughing at over there?
This write-up is literally going as long as that fucking movie did.
It's longer than the movie.
The narration of Tilda Swinton was soul-stirring. The score builds and fades throughout, causing an undeniable atmosphere, sometimes of hope, sometimes of dread. The slow movements of the camera as it zooms in on a static object was perfect. Sometimes the focus becomes unfocused, and sometimes the unfocused. Okay, why are you laughing?
I'm sorry. Keep going, sorry.
Sometimes the focus becomes unfocused, and sometimes the Okay, you gotta stop laughing. I can't get through this.
Okay, don't look at me.
One more time. Sometimes the focus becomes unfocused, and sometimes the unfocused becomes even less focused. This film gave me joy, great joy. Director Johan Johansson has created a unique piece of art, the likes of which that I have never seen before. This is a standout at this year's festival. I apologize for losing a little bit because I've got some wiener across from me cracking up like this is the funniest thing he's ever heard. This was no laughing matter. This was a serious movie with serious consequences. I loved it. Every second of it. Every morsel of it. I devoured it. It was so tasty. This was a haunting composition that was Mondo.
Okay, then.
Wow.
Wow.
Only the movie was
Murray,
entertaining as that.
Can you do me a
description.
favor and just turn the music up just a little bit? There we go. Now, if I want to spend 2 hours watching stills move around and the sexy voice of Tilda Swinton, this might be the music I might want to listen to for 2 hours. Now, Johan Johansson, he's a brilliant
Filmmaker.
score maker.
Composer.
And
Period.
composer.
So, Tilda Swinton's voice was awesome.
Yes.
The music was pretty ominous.
Yes.
Shots were okay.
Spectacular.
I would not classify this as a traditional movie.
Maybe not.
I would say it's experimental. And I
Slightly.
feel it is not fair to judge it as a regular film. I feel it was more like a coffee table book
What?
or perhaps an audiobook. I could easily fall asleep listening to this.
Stunning visuals.
As
It was
I-
not an audiobook.
I don't know. They were stunning.
Stunning.
True enough. But I imagine this being like listening to this music and flipping through a book on my coffee table. Sort of like listening to John Tesh or, you know, any of those people that I used to have to fall asleep to when I had really bad insomnia. Feel this one line may sum up what this film did not provide me with. Orgiastic celebration of pleasure till the end. Gets an iBook on sale. Audiobook meh from me.
Sorry, repeat that line one more time.
Orgiastic
Yeah.
celebration of pleasure.
Wow, they nailed it. That should be my whole review. I didn't need to have all those words. I just have to say orgiastic.
I kind of wish that was your review.
I also wish that was your review.
Yeah, because that was what it didn't provide me. I've had orgiastic celebrations of pleasure, and that was not.
This movie is an orgiastic celebration of pleasure.
So it wasn't meant for me. I'm actually super curious what Murray thought of this. Actually, even more interested than you, because I could tell while we were watching this.
I
The
love
orgiastic celebration of pleasure that was going on in your eyes and potentially in your pants. So Murray, tell us what you did, because if Murray maybe didn't like this as much as I did, this could be the first trifecta that Film Rage has ever done in the history of Film Rage.
History.
The history, Murray, this could be
Short
a
history.
history-making event. Did this make you...
I really wanted to like this.
Orgiastic?
I like Tilda Swinton, and it looked interesting, but I thought there would be, anything going on. Any form of action
Oh, there was a
at
lot
all
going on.
in the 90-plus minutes of
Did you
this.
see those camera movements?
But everything they were shooting was inanimate. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I need living,
There were
breathing
shadows that were
creatures.
moving.
Even if it's animals, I need living, breathing creatures to be doing something that represents action to keep me interested. And this just wasn't it. And yeah, I had some very lovely, haunting music and the silky smooth voice of Tilda Swinton.
You got it.
Which I think that doctors should prescribe this movie to insomniacs to get them to fall
Totally.
asleep, because that's all they would need. No drugs required. Just make them watch this movie. They would never have trouble sleeping again.
So
Yes, you got your wish. This for me is a hard rate.
oh snap! We've got a trifecta. Where's the fireworks and explosions?
You guys have no idea what you're talking about.
Apparently, we have our own feelings.
That's right.
I wish I could take this movie and hang it on my wall as a
You-
glorious piece of art.
You should buy the book, because I'm pretty sure there's a book about about it.
There is a book about it.
Book on
I
tape.
think-
Yeah, or a poster of it.
I think this might be the one case where the book can't possibly measure up to the movie, which is not what people usually
Maybe it comes
say.
with an audio book track.
That's
But
right.
I think it'll fit perfectly right beside Hellraiser 3 because that was literally almost as much horror as I got from Hellraiser 3.
You are so broken.
That's true.
Anyway.
But before we got so excited about talking about Last and First Men, we forgot to mention that before it was a short called Cold Meridian.
I forgot about that.
And
Yeah.
that was awesome. I want to be number 14734, self-fulfilling Mondo from that short for me.
I will just say ditto. Loved
Perfect.
it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Murray?
Yeah, that's also a rage for me. I thought it was stupid.
I actually wanted to go get my hair cut and shampooed after seeing
Just
it.
have a camera videotape the whole thing.
That's my only thing. I wish there was just a few more shots of them shampooing that chick's hair.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
If they could have just had that movie go on for 2 hours, listening to this music, I could probably have done it.
Whatever. Anyways, let's move on to
Death of a
ladies.
Sadie's man?
No, ladies man.
Death
Death of a ladies man.
That's
I thought it was Sadie's like sadistic man.
No, Death of a ladies man. First part of this film dripped with potential. We had fantastic visuals, and at one point they were at a hockey game, and instead of the national anthem, the vocalist sings "Bird on a Wire" by Leonard Cohen as the hockey team breaks into his figure skating routine. These were hallucinations of our ladies man, and this was good stuff. At one point, he's hanging out with Frankenstein, and I was genuinely thinking, this movie might be fantastic. Then he crosses the ocean, and the entire movie falls off a CGI cliff. The hallucinations are no longer fun, and most are pointless. It does not even seem like the same movie. This movie was a hard rage. I didn't like it at all. Not at all.
I love how the fact that we can go from being polar opposites to being completely in sync.
Yes.
And so much in sync, when you hear my review, you're going to go, what? Hockey ballet and national anthem of Leonard Cohen. This started out with so much opportunity.
It did, didn't it?
It did. Such great characters and interesting story right up until they left Montreal. And doesn't that always happen when you leave Montreal? I know for me, whenever I leave Montreal, it's kind of like, why didn't I stay? Because it's such an awesome city.
There you go.
So, yeah, turned into this nonsensical writing that literally drove off a CGI cliff.
Wow!
Like, were we channeling each other?
We must
on
have
this?
been.
This suffered a bit from not enough focus, trying to put too many things, and didn't focus on the part it should have. Didn't really give us insight, in my opinion. This is just my opinion, folks, but it didn't really give any insight into any real character, and yet we were supposed to think that they were somehow linked to this main character. I found that they didn't develop any of them enough.
No one was developed.
At least not that you could have like any emotional attachment to any of them. And especially, most importantly, Gabriel Byrne, who's the person you're supposed to care about the most. So to summarize, Leonard Cohen deserved better.
Yes.
Gabriel Byrne is awesome, but not in this film.
Yes.
Gets an unfocused, nonsensical rage from me. Favorite line, and also, I'm not saying everyone should use this, but if you need a line to come out to your parents,
Yep.
this may be the one. I may be in love, and I am definitely gay.
There you go.
Isn't that great? Like I'm not gay, but if I was gay, I think that's how I would come out to my parents.
Yeah.
I hope all of our friends that are gay that are listening, hope this has hopefully helped you if you still have to come out.
All right. I don't think we need to
Murray.
talk about
Murray's got thoughts on this. Yeah, I think he loved it. He loves
Yeah,
Gabriel
I believe I
Byrne.
was at the other end of the couch there. I was watching the same movie you were.
Yeah, you were.
Yes.
Well,
You're not always there though, Murray. So
Yeah,
sometimes.
because some of us have to work. We can't just take a whole week off.
That's true.
Hardworking
guy.
Again, this is one of my picks, so I actually wanted to like it, and I quite enjoyed the musical parts. And
Yeah.
The hockey figure skating
Yeah.
with their
Yeah.
toe picks.
Yeah, there was doping too.
But yeah, once again, I actually agree with you guys for a change. Once they left
What?
Montreal and went to Ireland, it just totally fell apart. Like this love story thing that didn't make any sense, and just it was stupid. And then you think he died, and then Now all of a sudden they're back in Montreal again. I'm like, what the hell?
People are dying. People
It's-
are.
like if I had fallen asleep for like 20 minutes or for half an hour in the middle of the movie,
Yeah.
I would have given this a freaking Mondo. 'Cause
Yeah.
the beginning and end were awesome.
If I
It's
fell
just-
asleep after
the
I
middle
left
part
Montreal.
was just dumb.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got to give it a
Son of
barely
rage.
watchable meh.
Oh. Is that just for Gabriel Byrne, by the way?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
You know how much I enjoy musicals.
And
so-
hockey. Yeah, true enough.
All right, from there we go to Violation. Yeah, Violation. Had some moments, like its use of color when filming nature. Filmmaker really liked close-ups of insects.
And everything.
and everything
Yeah,
else.
focused on a few other things too, which I'm thinking Jim's going to go into more detail.
He will.
He may even go into graphic detail.
I hope so.
The climax moments were very good. The filler between those moments were not that good. The blood draining scene was fantastic. Sometimes the jumps back and forth through time could have been more defined. Overall, this was a meh.
I'm sad to hear you say that.
Yeah.
In this in Canada's version of Tenet, or Canada's
What are you
version of
talking about?
Takashi Miike's Audition,
Closer.
no, it wasn't. But just as fucked up and just as satisfying. The colors in the film, the symbolism told through insects and animals and color, as well as the fact that you will not know what is happening or what will happen as this film progresses. Best way to see this film is to know nothing about it and be prepared to be surprised and amazed at what will come. Just wait, be patient, sit back, and all that Violation has to offer. Wait for the belated birthday present of surprise that will come. It will come. Just wait. Because as you're watching it, there's a lot of what is happening here. Through great color, great shots of insects, and then bam! It's kind of like my senses are awakened.
It's in your face.
It was in your face. And I kind of don't want to tell what the surprise is because I want people to see this. But suffice to say,
Yeah, I get that.
it is one of the first movies, and I think all of us, it was like, if you were in the room where we were watching this, it was like simultaneous mouth drops, and then I was licking my lips a little bit, but the mouth drops, and then it was kind of like, did they just put that in the movie? And we're like, yes, they did. And at that
Sure
point,
did.
it instantly went from, this is an okay movie, to I have never seen this
Based
on screen
one
as
moment.
big and fabulous, but then it just kept getting better. It was like one thing after another.
Did it, though?
It did get better. And I'm going to post something to you in a minute here.
All right.
Gets a baked expectation surprise party Mondo, so much wiener and so much revenge. That's all I'm saying about the wiener. I know you all want to hear me talk about this wiener because it's really quite fabulous, but I'm not going to talk about it. I want you all to experience the wiener. Favorite line, everyone, and I mean everyone. I added the I mean everyone because it's just everyone is at least medium shitty. And this is my belief about life. I think everybody's at least medium shitty.
Yeah, probably.
Some people are more shitty, but everyone's at least medium shitty.
Bare minimum.
Yep. Okay, so before we move on,
All right.
this is a bit of a surprise because after I sent a note to my little friend Brenda,
Uh-huh.
she poked me a little bit with her thoughts of, had any one of us thought that perhaps the whole murder was a dream?
The murder.
That is an interesting
Yes.
idea.
So we didn't really, I mean, when we were watching it, I'm not putting words into your mouth. We're yours, Murray. But I wasn't thinking that way.
I wasn't on
But when
that
she
wavelength
planted
at
that
all.
in my mind, I was like, wait a minute, I've got to think more about this. Because that is possible. They kept putting the dream sequence in it. They put I had this dream, she told her sister.
Mm-hmm.
They brought up, I had the dream, talked about the dream again near the end of the movie. And then there's a spot in the movie where they're sitting on the bench and it's like, they've made up. We're sister friends again. The husband's not there.
Yeah.
and you're kind of like, huh, no one seems to be too upset that he's missing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pose this. I'm going to leave everybody with this because I don't want to talk too much about it. But us from Film Rage, it kind of blew my mind a little bit, and which I'm hoping, as I'm looking at Bryce's dead eyes, I'm thinking that he may have to change his rating if this is where he's now thinking too much about this movie. So maybe check out our website, because he may change this from a meh to a Mondo, but you'll only find out when you check out our website at filmrageyyc.com. Do you want your last word here?
No, I'm just going to think about that for a while.
There's your last word. Okay, now we're going to talk about another round.
Another round. 4 teachers.
Oh, wait.
Oh, we're not?
We got to let Murray.
Oh, yeah, Murray.
We keep forgetting Murray's.
I'm still here.
Murray's still here.
Start putting your hand up, man.
Usually we're looking for you under the table.
Plus, you literally said, I don't think I'm going to talk about anything today.
You did kind of say that.
Apparently you are.
Why did I have to jump in the middle of your guys' speech?
Rants. They're usually rants, Murray.
Mine are usually short and sweet.
You are pretty sweet.
Yes, I did enjoy this movie. I don't know if I give it a Mondo, because there were certain
There was too much wiener for you?
parts that I did not really enjoy. I thought they went on a little too long.
Or not enough.
It's definitely not for the squeamish. There's a lot of blood, and yeah, it was gross and disturbing and thrilling. And yeah, if it was all a dream, I'd be very, very disappointed and might have to turn to a rage.
Oh, you're on the rage train.
Because it had better have been real.
Okay.
Otherwise, what's the point of the whole movie? So I give it a high meh if it actually was real.
Well, this wouldn't be a typical wake up in the morning and, oh, it was all a dream. It's a
No,
little more complex
if she
than
dreamt
that.
the whole thing, it didn't actually do what she did in the film, then it's definitely a rage for me.
But ultimately, even if no matter what side of the fence you're on, dream or not dream, meh, Mondo, or rage, the important thing to know is she got to kick ass
Yeah.
and punch dick.
There you go.
Just singular.
Yeah.
There was one dick.
All right. Now you can.
All right, another round. 4 teachers maintain a constant level of alcohol in their blood as a social and professional experiment. Director Thomas Vinterberg directed this thing, and it was a lot of fun. There were some amusing scenes mixed with some heartbreaking ones. Mads Mikkelsen is brilliant as always. Well written, well acted. Liked it a lot. It was solid, meh.
Very succinct there. Bryce, I've been saying I should have 0.05 more alcohol in me at all times, and now this is proof to me. I may start living my life at a 0.05.
All right.
Going forward.
Oh, go ahead.
This film was funny, dramatic,
Yep.
and great male bonding. Kind of like old school Denmark style.
Old school Denmark style. Yeah,
Right?
I can see that.
Then you see Mads Mikkelsen as being Will Ferrell.
We're going streaking.
We're going streaking!
Although he wasn't the one that was getting naked in it, but yeah, okay.
But we were probably all hoping of all of them, he would be the one we'd want to see naked.
No, I wasn't really hoping for anyone
And
to get naked, Jim.
Mads Mikkelsen, goddamn, that man is good looking and completely mesmerizing, I might add. And
He's
FYI,
on the list.
Smirnoff is drinking alone in the bathroom vodka, not drink paired with $100 caviar vodka. Just so people know,
Well, that lesson was learned in this
it was
movie.
very well learned. I mean, you want to talk about an amazing dinner.
Smirnoff is drinking alone in the bathroom vodka.
It totally is.
That should be their ad.
It should be their ad. I really enjoyed this movie. It was heartwarming and really a real feel-good movie. I didn't love it, but I liked it a lot. This is what Murray's birthday party next year in Vegas, high meh, is going to be.
What do you got to say, Mur?
Is this what
Well-
your birthday party is going to look like next year?
I would certainly hope so. Like, make my Viking ancestors proud.
You do like vodka.
I do like my vodka. I don't know if I want a 0.5 in my system at all times, but once in a while I wouldn't mind going to 1.2.
Yeah, 1.2 actually looked pretty fun.
That was a lot of fun. I think at one point one of them went over 2. But
Oh, no.
yeah, I did enjoy the singing and the dancing, and I thought it was hilarious that basically the kids at the end, when they graduated, they were in a party bus, and they were drinking and singing, dancing with their teachers.
Through
I'm
the
like,
streets of Denmark.
That would never happen here.
No.
Like, actually, I did have a teacher who was like that, except for he wasn't actually drunk in class, but
You probably got fired.
he was like a party animal of all the teachers I had, but he was also the toughest teacher we had too. So,
and
but yeah, I enjoyed it. There were some moments in the middle, and as Bryce mentioned, there was not too many of the women in this movie were very likable. Like all the ones that were married, they didn't seem to have very nice wives. So I guess that's why they did all the drinking.
Didn't a man write this story and direct it?
I don't know, it's possible.
Maybe he's a misogynist.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I would give it a high meh. It was
All right,
alright. It was
so
alright.
meh. Meh.
All right, and from there we capped off the evening at the cinema. The rest of these we saw online, which are still available online, by the way. And then we saw a in-cinema exclusive, Wander. Wander stars Aaron Eckhart and Tommy Lee Jones. I think it can be summed up in one line. It's me. It's Jimmy.
Why did you have to bring that up?
It's
I
Jimmy.
told you not to say that name.
You can trust me.
That's not my safe word.
It's Jimmy.
Oh
You
my
know
God,
Jimmy.
stop saying that fucking word, Jimmy. I almost want to change my name after seeing this movie.
It's Jimmy.
So I originally thought, because I love Aaron Eckhart. I don't know why. He's kind of like the Mads Mikkelsen of Hollywood these days.
He's kind of mad.
He's kind of mad. He kind of picks man movies these days.
Yeah, he does.
But in this particular movie, he did not pick a man movie.
No, he did
not pick a movie. No, he did not. And the reason for this is this movie was terrible.
It's me. It's Jimmy.
Everything about this made no sense. And not on top
But
of
you
it,
know me,
not
I'm
only did it
Jimmy.
not make sense, here is supposed to be a suspenseful movie where when you watch movies that are well written with intrigue, where you don't know what's happening and you have to piece pieces together like a spy thriller, this was the opposite of that. And here's a guy that is crazy, insane, tinfoil wearing hat guy who's absolutely afraid of everybody, including what you think is his best friend. He's been warned this person could be crazy.
Oh,
And even there's times
he
in it-
gets told this person.
Yes,
is,
multiple times. But the very first time is from somebody he actually trusts, one of his best friends, who happens to be played by Heather Graham. So you can actually see earlier in the film, he's scanning Jimmy down. He's like, maybe Jimmy isn't the right guy. Then there's a point in the movie that was the turning point that this was potentially teetering on. It could be saved as a meh if they had a good ending, or if it actually started to have intrigue.
Jimmy.
But then guess what? Just before he kills this lady, or she actually dies, before he gets confronted with her, she's going to kill him, and she says, "Oh, by the way, Jimmy's in on it." And then, bow, her heart explodes. There's so many times in this movie.
But then he meets with Jimmy, and Jimmy says, "Hey, it's me. It's Jimmy. You know me."
And then he's like, okay, that makes complete sense. This guy's off his meds. He's wacko crazy. He doesn't trust anybody.
He
and then
trusts Jimmy.
he just trusts Jimmy just like that. It was like, okay, I trust Jimmy. But then he does that with how many people back to back? There's like, he's even says through the movie, I'm being tested here. They brought me here. I'm crazy. And yet there's so many times in the movie he's like, hey, you should not trust anybody. And yet he keeps trusting Jimmy.
Hey, it's Jimmy though.
But he didn't trust Jimmy.
He didn't trust
No, he
Jimmy.
doesn't trust Jimmy.
You totally trust Jimmy.
Yeah, no, this was not good. And I really hope that maybe people see this and maybe they're seeing something I don't. But when it's blatantly obvious, because he doesn't already trust Jimmy, that he then trusts Jimmy at a more pinnacle time in the movie, it just pushed me over the edge to a rage. This was Aaron Eckhart making man movies now turns to rage.
Yeah, it was meh.
Murray, would you like to review the majority of this movie?
The short part that I saw, yeah, 1/3 of us walked out of this. And it wasn't just because of the movie itself.
Because of the rage.
I was having an unpleasant time. I had a headache and it had just been a long day. But yeah, it took too long to get going, and eventually it didn't keep me interested.
Well, it got worse. It's a good thing you left.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Meh.
But I do like most of the people that were in this. That was why
Jimmy.
I picked it. But yeah, I booked a day off for this. I bought my ticket 2 weeks ago. I was like, if only it wasn't at 9 o'clock at night. If it was at like a 5 or a 7 o'clock. I might have actually.
You're getting old, Murray.
That's true, I am. Well, that's what happens when you have to get up at 4 a.m. You can't stay up anymore. But no, I was looking forward to this. I was really hoping to see through the end, but it just didn't happen. But I was interested by the fact that it had not one, but two Two-Faces in this movie.
Oh.
It had both Two-Faces from the last two
Casting.
Batman franchises together in the same movie.
But only one Jimmy.
But only one Jimmy, apparently.
God, stop saying
And it had
that.
a Heather Graham, and it also had Catherine Winnick, who I was also looking forward to. And yeah, I just didn't get through it. Maybe eventually it will come out somewhere in all.
Jimmy.
There was no intrigue. There was no suspense.
That's too bad.
It was
There's a whole lot of Jimmy.
I
There
had
was
some
too
high
much
hopes for
Jimmy.
it, but oh well.
yoicks. Assuming that you're sticking with your meh, I can't believe you're doing this to me.
Oh yeah, I was a man.
How could you? Oh my God, I can't. This made so much sense that how could you can lose your shit over the stupidest things, and yet
I found Jimmy entertaining. It's Jimmy.
Jimmy is always entertaining.
Jimmy's got me brainwashed too, man.
I'd be very surprised.
I get Aaron Eckhart's character. I mean, like, how can you not love Jimmy?
he didn't love him the whole movie. He was thinking he was in on it before.
He came around just like I did.
Oh God.
Of course, I will also
that
add
makes complete
that these
sense.
two guys were podcasters, and you know podcasters are evil. So
It's true, actually.
Hey, it's Jimmy.
All right, well, make sure you're listening tomorrow, as we're going to be breaking down a bunch of stuff tomorrow. So, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the extended film Rage crew of Leonard Conlon for his artistic vision and photography. Yeah, Leonard Conlon Photography. Listen to us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Bramble, and Spotify. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and check out our Film Rage YYC.com website. We are always wanting your feedback to make this a raging blast for all listeners. But if you do, please make us rage. Please, just make us rage. That's it for today. Listen tomorrow when we talk more CIFF. Rage on.
Rage on. It's Jimmy.
Ugh.